Welcome, and you're listening to Geekologist Radio, a division of Mulehorn Gaming Network. Now,
shut up and sit down.
hey, it's Damien, and welcome to Geekologist Radio, the podcast where we say screw the co and co-host, and give you a crew host. First up, let's introduce our crew of tonight's cast. First, I'm going to send it on over to Beefouts82, also known as Brandon.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon here. Just letting you know we are having all kinds of fun in the wonderful world of technical difficulties, so bear with us tonight.
Next, we have our one of our two guest hosts tonight, Justin. What's up, man?
Not a lot, just trying to fight through the technical difficulties with everybody else.
And next, let's get in over there with our geeky pirate, Mike. What's up, man?
Geeky pirate.
Hey, come on now. Last time you said
that's what we decided
we
we were going to call you from now on, is the geeky pirate. You're stuck with that.
I don't like it anymore.
Tough.
I'm stuck with that now.
Until Chris comes back, then you're stuck with it.
And if you
Chris comes back,
yeah, if you didn't know, Chris is actually at the Red Sox game right now, so that is why he's not with us. But in his stead, we have Derek, also known as, well, we'll just say Cajun. What's up, Cajun?
Yeah, Derek, known as Caucasian Saint, and I am here to geek out Logist. Get it?
wow.
All right. So unlike our normal episodes where we just jump right into talking about movie, TV, streaming, and comics, we're gonna do two little segments right here. First one is going to be, well, the first one's get to know your geeks. So first up, we're gonna talk with Justin. So Justin, aka Ghost44, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty well, and how are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, hanging in there, man.
So, one of the things what we want to do with this is, we're running a team for a podcast. It's not just, hey, let's get together and record once or twice a week. It takes many skill sets and a full village to bring these beasts to life. Brandon can attest to that as being our, Mr. Technical man. I mean, he's our man of many hats. And one of the other areas that we needed help with was we needed help with web. So thankfully, we have a great team. Justin, you're here with one of our crucial limbs of the podcast. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what you do here with Geekologist Radio?
Well, I'm not really well versed in the whole news that you guys are in, but I can build a website, so that's what I have done.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a website. And that website is
Geekologistradio.com.
And so, what does it like? So going into building a website when you're doing that type of stuff, what is something that what's some of the little things that you have to do to get something put together like that for a podcast that you've been learning from working with us?
Well, I think the biggest learning experience has been trying to work with how to actually monetize the site, because that's been a whole new thing for me. As far as building the site itself, the programming, it's something that I've done over and over, that's what I do. So,
Okay.
But
that's cool.
Trying to set up the Amazon affiliate and all of that fun stuff.
Because I would think that it would be Brandon that would be the hardest part about doing it.
Well, I've known
wait a
Brandon
second,
long enough
Yeah.
that I know how to navigate that fairly well. And
What he's trying to say, Mike, is you need to take notes
on how to manage that.
Okay. So, on that subject, how long have you and Brandon known each other?
20
That
years.
is a very good question.
20 years or something like that. Probably longer.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Almost as old as I am.
Yeah, honestly,
Maybe.
probably closer to
Wow.
22, 23 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you know, as everybody knows, I'll be 26.
Eventually.
Towards the end of the
In
year.
2 or 3 more years.
Eventually. Eventually. Yeah.
So, what got you into website design, Justin?
I'm not really big on the design part. If you go to our site at the moment, it's fairly obvious that I'm not a designer. But what got me
You
into
did a
the
lot better
programming-
than what any of us could have slapped together. I promise you that.
Yeah, I know that's right.
I'm sure it will eventually come to something pretty, but I've just always been interested in computers and more of the technical side of the gaming. And so I've been working with computers for as long as I can remember. I started working for Don probably when I was 16, so like 10 years ago. Don being Brandon's father, so so we go way back.
Wow. Okay.
Very cool. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to transition over. We have another individual with us tonight, Derek. We're going to kind of have you swing in from time to time when we need someone to fill in. You didn't know this, but you're going to be our swing guy.
Pinch hitter. We'll go with pinch hitter and a
Pinch hitter.
baseball
Oh, okay.
themed Geekologist radio. Here we go. Pinch hitter.
Okay.
He's at the Red Sox games. We're going pinch hitter. Let's go.
All right. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
All right. So, name's Derek. Go by Caucasian Saint. I actually am one of the 9 founders of the clan. Most of us are in Uprising Family Gaming. Founded it. And it's almost 2 years ago. Yeah, almost 2 years ago in November. And kind of 2. Yeah, because we formed it a little after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, maybe 3. Who knows how long?
It started off as Revolution.
It started off as
Yes,
Revolution. We started off in a DoD Revolution, and then it kind of evolved into Uprising Family Gaming from there. And we've had quite a few podcasts come out of the clan, and mainly just there to people to have fun, play games, and don't be dicks to each other and other people. So that's kind of attracted a lot of people. We don't really have a lot of requirements, just have fun, do your thing. And from there, I also do like the Uprising news for the clan. We do it about sometimes twice a month, sometimes once a month, depending we can get to it. Kind of updates on what's going on in the clan, updating new members and things like that. And also kind of head up part of it, the War Mine section, which is the section that is the competitive side where we compete in Iron Banner Clan Wars every time Iron Banner rolls around in Destiny. So that's sort of my end. And on a personal note, I'm a engineer by degree. So I come from the technical engineering side mindset there, but I do wave my geek flag a lot when it comes to geeking TV, movies, and video games. So I definitely have a lot of input there.
On a little more personal note, Caucasian Saint is also one of my normal raid team members, so that's why he's here. He's a man, he's a myth and a legend. He can follow directions.
Yes, and I still will never let y'all forget that one time where I killed every night on Oryx hard mode because y'all weren't doing your jobs.
No. I was either running or I was doing Titan. That's how we roll.
Yeah, there was people dying everywhere, and I was like, I got them all, guys.
Oh, that was a fun raid.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so let's go into our first segment, first normal segment of the podcast. Movies, TV, streaming, and comics. So, before we jump into this week's standard segments, just wanted to say, holy DC overload, Batman. Warner Brothers is kicking up some major dust in what seems at face value to be a huge positive move, not mood. But like all things, let's let the dust settle and dig into this week's movie, TVs, and streaming talk. First up, we have Batman, a.k.a. Batfleck.
So does Batfleck get you in the mood? Is that why you were saying mood? Are you thinking of Ben Batfleck's nipples in his suit? Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
There's
Clooney's.
no nipples in the suit.
Yeah, Clooney's.
They're not,
Clooney's
yeah,
nips.
it's Clooney's.
Clooney has
Oh,
the
so,
nips.
Clooney's got
so
the
you know,
nipples.
so you two both know exactly who it is then. Okay, gotcha.
Hey, come on
Yeah.
now, Chris O'Donnell.
What was that-
Chris
what was
O'Donnell.
that
Robin had
series that you
Ronald
said you
had
liked
nipples
last week?
Ronald had nipples too. Ronald.
Dude, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. You were literally in that movie. You were Mr. Freeze in that movie. You should
I was
literally
Mr.
know
Freeze!
The movie Bat Nipples were in.
Everybody freeze!
That's why they had nipples. They had THOs.
Yeah, we finally know who
We figured it out why the suit had nipples.
broke it live right here.
It's because of
Done.
me, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was an actual design choice.
Oh, that didn't take long. So, Batfleck aims to hit the ladies with the latest confirmed news. Confirmed True Blood and Magic Mike XXL star Joe I'm going to butcher his name again. Magniello, well, you know who he is the comic book villain Deathstroke in the upcoming Ben Affleck directed Batman solo film at Warner Brothers Pictures.
Also known as Mr. Damian Nash's favorite stripping werewolf. We learned that from a few episodes ago.
Today, also, DC Entertainment president and CCO Jeff Johns reportedly confirmed the casting to the Wall Street Journal in his first interview discussing his new role overseeing Warner's movies based on DC Comics characters. Johns declined to comment on whether Deathstroke has a cameo in Justice League, which is currently shooting in London, where the footage was likely shot. He also declined to say when the solo Batman film will be released in a film, and him and Affleck are writing.
Nice. Yeah, so like Deathstroke for me is a great villain for a Batfleck movie because I just think that it's going to be a little bit of that Batman, that Ben Affleck style in there where he's going to dig into the characters a little deeper than what some of the other DC directors have been able to do. And Deathstroke is a unique villain who's not been in any of the DC movies. He's been in some TV shows and some cartoons, but he's never been a villain in the DC movies. So he's not one that people are going to compare to like the Joker that we see over and over again. Although a great villain, it's not one that can be just standalone out there. And I think he's going to be good because he's this assassin that just does whatever. He's like the opposite moral code of Batman. Just like he will do whatever for whatever you pay him to do. What Batman has that moral code, he will not cross those lines.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be. I'm just excited to see how they go about it. The suit looks fantastic, and here's the thing: the suit looks good, and they haven't even done lighting effects yet. That's just test footage. You know, like when we saw, like when you see any of the stuff from the Marvel films, and you see like Captain America, and he's bright blue or he's just something, and then you see the actual film, and it's darker colored. It's like the lighting effects haven't even been added there, and it already looks sick. So I'm stoked for. So up next, still continuing with Mr. Batfleck, we saw the new tactical suit. Ben Affleck releases yet another picture, this time of the Caped Crusader himself in costume, definitely giving a nod to the Arkham series of games with the addition of tactical lenses that look like they were plucked from Watchmen Owlman 2. You guys all saw the suit.
Right.
What do you guys think?
It's the same suit. It's just reskinned black. Like I saw no ultimate difference. Maybe the pattern itself might have been just a hair different, but it was ultimately the same suit.
It didn't look like it had like a little bit of extra body armor on it. I didn't look that close, but that could have been me.
What they did is they went and they took, like in Arkham, they had a lot of plating. And what they did is they went along it. So if you look in the original, or not the original, but in Batman versus Superman, he's got a gray, and it's like a Kevlar-esque material all across it, right? And instead of this one's actually got armor plating, and they also swept the Batman horns, ears. They are back a little further, so it's more like he's almost running. And then the lenses, of course, the tactical lenses, those just, I don't know. I like the suit, but the lenses I'm not so keen on the bat lenses.
I think that because it's a Justice League photo from that set, I think it does bring out that he's going to be bringing like everything in the bat arsenal that he can to defeat the villains, because everybody else has their superpowers and he has his tech, so he's going to bring all the tech in. So I think that might be a part of that photo leaking, is like we're going to put some tech in Batman because he doesn't have the superpowers besides his money.
True. Yeah. But I mean, it also kind of resembles like a nod back to the Nolan's Batman because he used lenses, special lenses over his suit, and then as well as like I said again, the definite nod in the plating look to the Arkham series of games, which is really cool. So up next, we got Suicide Squad spin-off talk,
and I'll take that one. So Margot Robbie has officially been set as an executive producer on the Harley Quinn-focused Suicide Squad spin-off film at Warner Brothers. The article found over on Dark Horizon goes on to say the Aussie actress who developed the project with another writer and reportedly brought the project forward 4 months ago has signed an exclusive first-look producing deal with Warner's to set up both this project and an adaptation of Dean N. Jensen's Queen of the Air. Her Lucky Chat production company will develop the projects, and this report would certainly indicate that the Harley Quinn project is definitely moving forward. At the time of the project's reveal, it was indicated a number of DC female heroes would be involved in the film's narrative, including Batgirl. No director or production schedule has been announced. So first off, freaking Batgirl is going to be in a movie. And if what DC Entertainment president and Jeff Johns said is true about writing the ship, then it places key talented actors and actresses in producing roles and can honestly do that their livelihood to the character that they're passionate about. And why not take the risk and let's start seeing the DC universe that the fans want to see? And I think this brings a lot of what Deadpool did. Like Ryan Reynolds brought a lot of that in. He was he embodied the character. He brainstormed it. He just became the character, and that's how the movie became. And I think Margot Robbie did really become Harley Quinn in that role. Just really embodied it very well. And her having a lot of say and input in it's going to be good. But this is also kind of for me, like Jeff Johns writing the ship. I think a big part of writing the ship is doing like what I've seen DC do is reverse Marvel. Like everything besides Man of Steel, all of their movies, their solo introduction movies, come after the ensemble flicks. So having let's get the solo flicks out of the way. Now that Justice League's already done, let's get as many of those out as we can before bringing people back together. Let's get to know them more like Marvel did. What are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I agree completely. Like it's like I'm excited to see what Margot Robbie does with that, but I'm also super stoked to see Batman in a solo film because, in Suicide Squad, what Batman was in was all right. But when I saw Batman versus Superman, the thing that really got me was it almost felt like Aliens. When you first are introduced to Batman, he's like up on a corner and he jumps down. He's fighting police, and it almost is like a horror movie in the way that they designed it, and his movements and stuff. And so to see a full movie that's maybe more of that, I'm totally down to see that kind of fighting style.
Yeah, and I want to get to know the characters first before like I'm invested.
Exactly. Because I mean, it's going to be interesting though, because some of the characters aren't getting necessarily their solo film. They're going to get more of a buddy film, like the Flash is getting a movie, but he's also going to be accompanied by. I know, he's going to be accompanied by
goddamn Cyborg.
Borg instead of real. I know. He's doing. We got Mike doing the gunshot to the head thing because Cyborg is going to be in a buddy movie without Beast Boy. In fact, we'd have no.
It doesn't. It's not.
Doesn't make sense.
Not compute.
Yeah, and that's where I get you, and that's why I was like, I mean, I would like to find out. Hey, is Beast Boy gonna like make a cameo in the Flash? Is that how we're gonna be introduced to Beast Boy?
Ah, shit, a pile of bricks.
Yeah,
it would be cool.
Yeah.
Who would you think would be good to play Beast Boy?
Oh man,
that's something to think.
I don't even know.
You know, back when he was younger, Pauly Shore would have been a kind of funny Beast Boy.
Oh, sure would be. It would be hilarious. Oh God.
But not now. But yeah, back in
I
the
don't
day,
know, man. There's a lot of good ones out there, and most of them just I don't feel like they could fit the role, if that makes sense.
So you think maybe like an unknown?
Like it would have to be a kid because it's Beast Boy. It wouldn't maybe not necessarily like a really young kid, but like 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that age range, or at least somebody that looks really young.
Give me Toothless from Stranger Things.
I was almost thinking that for a second. I was thinking that.
Oh man, that would be he'd be perfect for that.
Gnarly hair, little teeth,
I can see
wiry,
that.
smart attitude.
Yeah, imagine him with green skin and just morphing into random animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that actually could be pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah, sorry for not knowing that your actor's name, little kid, but you're forever toothless until you do something else.
Yeah, in all honesty, I imagine if they're gonna do Beast Boy, he's gonna turn out a lot like Nightcrawler did in X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't want to go quite to the extent of, ironically, the Beast, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, the Beast. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go quite to that extent because that's not who Beast Boy was. Nightcrawler just seemed, because he's more energetic in the way he, as an X-Men, he moves around. So I just imagine it going that direction as far as how his appearance would be.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they do that, if at all.
Yeah, but still, for going back to the Flash in a buddy movie, just seeing this other kid as a Flash, even in the Justice League trailer, it's like he's not my Flash. Grant Gustin in the DC W TV show is always going to be my Flash. I love that show.
Me too. I'm excited for the next season.
Oh yeah.
I'm more of an Arrow fan.
Even after last season and the trailer for next season.
I haven't seen this trailer for season 5, and I'm not gonna watch it. But it was a bit rough there at the end. Yeah.
I've watched all of Arrow up to date, and last season was a tough nail to swallow for me. Flash.
From my understanding, they're going to be getting away from his flashbacks to the island.
Right. I think they're finally...
Or from the island.
I think they can finally stop saying the word 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's been 5 years now. It's like you've told the story.
Yeah, they can get the last year out of the way. But no, there's some... the trailer just left me with my jaw on the ground with too many changes, and I was already on the fence, and I was like, oh, yep, done. And then the Legends of Tomorrow didn't leave me with much, and I was like, all right, I'll watch the hell out of Flash, and I'm going to give Supergirl a try. That's the one I hadn't seen yet.
First season of Supergirl's kind of slow to start up, but it gets a little bit better. I'm unsure about the next season with them bringing in all the support of other superheroes in to try and support her as a superhero. She needs to be her own superhero, in my opinion.
Just other superheroes, or do you mean Superman?
Yeah, exactly.
But not just any Superman. Like Smallville Superman. What's his face? Tom Welling is going to be the Superman.
No, it's not Tom Welling.
I saw a report saying that.
No, it's not Tom Welling. It's the guy's from I can't think of his name. Is actually was one of the villains from Teen Wolf.
Oh,
well, anti-hero from Teen Wolf. And he's a great actor, but I just don't know about him being Superman. He just doesn't look Superman to me.
Gotcha.
I'll watch it just to see, but I don't know. So, going up here next into the next segment, we have our next thing we have to talk about. It's a sad day, folks. Alan Moore is retiring from comics. That's right, my fellow geeks. It's a sad day. Moore's work included some very amazing pieces of comic book art history, including Watchmen, V for Vendetta, From Hell, Batman the Killing Joke, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. While we will feel the wake of his departure, his decision is very similar to that of the showrunners of HBO's Game of Thrones, meaning he wants to leave on a high note. When asked about his retirement from comics, Moore had this to say: "I think I have done enough for comics. I've done all that I can. I think if I were to continue to work in comics, inevitably the ideas would suffer. Inevitably, you'd start to see more retread on old ground. And I think both you and I probably deserve something better than that." So, I mean, he's created some of the big comic book events out there. I mean, Batman the Killing Joke, for one, that's just huge. But, I mean, The Watchmen. I mean, we just talked earlier about how Ben Affleck's tactical suit has looks like a little bit of a nod to Owlman #2. So it's like, but it's tough seeing these things because shoot, Mike, you've been talking about it, and we've been talking about it. Is just the fact that Stan Lee is retiring from touring to comics book conventions. I mean, all the greats are starting they're passing down stuff. It's like we at least got Todd McFarlane still knocking it out of the park. With Spawn.
Yeah, but he's not 80.
I'm,
A lot of these guys are really
true.
old.
True. Okay. Stan Lee's not 80, isn't he? Like 100? He's up there.
Oh,
No, seriously.
Damn.
He
He's
No,
really
I
old.
believe he just turned 93.
93. Okay,
He
93.
turned 93 this
Sorry,
year.
Mr. Stan Lee. Didn't mean to age you, but we know you're
I'm gonna
immortal.
tell him you said that.
We know
I'm
you're
gonna tell him
immortal.
you
We know
said
you're
that.
gonna live forever.
I'm actually meeting him in November, guys.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to talk to him. You should try to say, hey, can you say, hey, you're listening to Geekologist Radio. If he said that, oh my god,
You need to try and get that recorded for us.
I'll
That
see
would
what
be
I
I
can
don't
do.
want I don't want a signature. I want you to say these words into this thing.
If I can't get Stan Lee to say it, I'll try to find somebody else. Like there's gonna be a lot of folks there.
isn't Nathan Fillion gonna be there?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, because he's been doing a lot of stuff with Stan Lee.
And
so.
Katie Cassidy from Arrow or Laurel is going to be there.
Very nice.
What's her face? She takes over the company in Arrow.
Oh, Felicity
She
Smoke.
ends up being no, the other one, the evil bitch.
Aren't they all?
I don't want to spoil the show for anybody who hasn't
I
seen
can't
it.
remember
so
her name, but I know you're talking
I'm trying
about.
to be as vague as possible.
Yeah, I can't remember right now. Top of my head.
I can't remember her name, but you know what I'm talking
I do.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I am excited, guys. Like you have no idea. Like we're going off topic, but that's not even. That's a
That
normal
happens,
thing.
man. That's what this show is. It's all. Hey, you got your seatbelt on? Yeah, cut that thing.
I was going to say that never happens here.
So next we have Mike talking about Avatar 2.
To be completely honest, I really don't know how I feel about this 7 years later. Like, why wait so damn long?
What do you mean? What about
'Cause he
Avatar 3, 4, and 5?
And 5.
That, again, how? What are you doing?
It's
Okay, hang on.
But
How
for real,
many
though-
years for Star Wars?
That's different, though. That's
Okay.
different.
Okay, then I'm going to throw another one. Waving my flag. What about Tron Legacy? Over 30 years later.
That
Boom.
was a bit much.
but that
That was a bit
that was
much.
long. That was good. But with James Cameron, he's always had gone long times between his projects. In my lifetime, he hasn't had a bad movie. So I'll give him all of the cred in the world. Like you haven't made a bad movie since I was born. Just keep it
But
going.
how can you stretch the Avatar story into 6 movies?
Maybe that's what took him
Like, I
7
get
years.
maybe, like,
5
okay,
movies.
excuse me, 5 Avatar movies. I was thinking it was 5 more sequels, so 6.
Yeah,
total. My
that's a
fault.
good point. Hey, 7 years of writing to develop it all and make sure it's James Cameron worthy because he doesn't go half into anything.
If you look at the timeline
That's
of
true.
release for the rest of the movies, they're all releasing a lot
They're all
closer
within 2
together.
years.
So really, you got to think he spent the last 7 years developing and prepping for episodes 2 through 5.
Exactly.
And making undersea documentaries.
Yes.
Who doesn't
and-
do that in their free time? I mean, come on.
Or flying ships. Yeah.
And what they're saying about these and how they're going to be able to do what they're doing is it's no longer going to be just about the Na'vi and the human, I guess, war. Mm-hmm. It was ultimately a war was started between the tribes when the tribes. It's no longer going to be just focused on that. It's actually going to involve their children and their children's struggles and how they're dealing with all of it. And it's also being said that Jake is going to be dealing more so with his human side and not wanting to go to war and wanting peace between the humans and the Na'vi. What do you guys think about this?
It's a moral conflict within himself. I mean, any man would do that, regardless.
Because his body's dead. I mean, his human body's dead, but it's like, he's gonna have the memories of being that. It's gonna be hard for him. He doesn't want fighting at all. So there's gonna be loss suffered on both sides.
Think about it like he's going to war with his in-laws.
That always isn't a bad thing.
You don't want to piss the in-laws off because the wife doesn't get. You know what I mean? It's just one of those type things. You want to do it, but you really don't want to do it.
Well, I guess ultimately he gave up his human body to become one of them, because he chose peace. Like, that's the whole reason why he went that direction, kind of. But it seems kind of weird to me that he's pulling in all these conflicts when he already made the decision to give up his human side.
Well, I think there's one way they could spin this is that humans were, besides him and the few other scientists, were the bad guys in the first Avatar. You can definitely spin it as in, if humans are demonized by the Na'vi community, when they come back and there's some hostility towards them, he has to be the one to step in and say, look, these might not be bad. Not all humans are bad. And that might be the kind of the first take in there of him having to step in between. I think there is a way to spin it that it can make it work.
Yeah.
The other thing to think of is that the clone that he embodies, right, is, if you look, the Na'vi have, I believe it's 4 fingers. They have three fingers and a thumb.
Yeah, he's got
human. He's got 5. Now, his children, because he's got human DNA in him, his children are actually going to be part human as well. So that's they'll be more Na'vi, but they are going to have human DNA in them. So is that going to cause?
But does he have?
Derek?
But does he have human DNA?
Yes.
Yes.
They used some of his DNA to create the clone.
Yeah, that's
his brother's DNA.
Right. That is true. Yeah.
So his children will have part human DNA in them. So we could even have something where the kids, something could happen. So now the kids are curious about the humans because they know that they're part. Mm-hmm. They go, and then the humans, if they're the villains again, they can use that to, oh, children, you're curious. Now they got they have the children. They can capture the children of the chief of the Na'vi. It's a big rabbit hole. It's James Cameron. You never know what he's going to do.
Right.
It's like you got certain directors where you're going to go for a ride when you go to see the film. James Cameron's one of those. You got James Cameron, and then if you want explosions, who do you go to?
Michael Bay.
Thank you.
That's all you get from that dude.
I love how you just weren't exactly sure if that was the right answer. You were just like,
I was completely sure it was the right answer. I completely hate him as a director, so I'm like, I'll give the answer, but I won't sound happy about it.
Are you not looking forward to the Transformers movies? There's supposed to be like 4 more, 5 more. There's supposed to be 2 more, and then
no. So the whole thing with the Transformers movies is that this next movie is the first of the cinematic universe that's going to combine, and they're going to go back, and they're talking about going back to Cybertron and showing us the wars. We're actually going to get our Transformers movies. Sorry, I really like Transformers.
Yeah,
but
on the excitement
before all
the
human before they came.
If it's Michael Bay directing, then no. If it's another director taking over the universe and putting his spin on it, then I'm fine with it. It's just Michael Bay as a director has not done anything good. Transformers 1 was the only one that I liked that he did, because I think they put the reins on him. They spent a lot of money. They put the reins on him and said, look, do it this way. And Transformers 1 came out and like, oh, I really liked him. And then they're like, it did so good. Let him loose. And then we get robot balls. And I'm done.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you here. I don't think I ever finished the second one and never really got interested in the rest of them.
Yeah.
The first one was good, but
Yeah.
just from there.
See, I'm one of the ones that like I'll watch the stuff just mainly because I have nostalgia to that. Like my brother and I will go opening day and see them. And those movies we typically see like multiple times in theater, just because we love Transformers. I'm telling you though, you want to win something over on me? Make a freaking Beast Wars film. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But this
Like
is
a
way
live
live action Beast
Well, I
Wars.
guess not really live action because if
Well,
it would
yeah.
just be,
Yeah,
but still, it would be pretty badass to see it then the current form that it's in the cartoonish type
Yeah.
way, more
Yeah.
like a CGI.
it'd be like
Which
Avatar.
is what it would be.
Everything's CGI.
Yeah, I guess ultimately, just with giant robots.
Balls. On the pyramids.
All right, so Brandon, I think you have something to talk about.
Well, first, real quick on the Transformers. I didn't know if you guys know there is a new Transformers cartoon series on Netflix. My kids have been watching the crap out of it, and they love it. It centers around Bumblebee leading a team on Earth, and it's actually pretty good. I like the animation style on it. I've been watching it with them quite a bit.
Nice.
Oh, I've seen that. I can't remember the name of it now.
Yeah, it's supposed to connect in to the new film.
Oh,
So-
nice. I have to check that out. I did catch Voltron revisited on redone on Netflix. I've been liking that.
That was
I've
pretty
been
cool,
liking that
yeah.
one.
While we're on the subject of Netflix shows, I recently started watching a show with my 8-year-old called Kulupari, an Army of Frogs. It's
I've seen the first episode. Yep. Yes.
Have you? Do you like
I did.
it?
I liked the first episode, but I haven't gone further than that. But I liked it. My daughter.
Wait till you see the Kulupari, bro. Like, I'm not even
Oh,
joking.
nice.
They look so awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I was.
So is this like anime?
What's the
I don't
best way
want
to
to say
describe
that. Like the characters, they're it's a range of different amphibians as well as insects. The whole premise is the frogs live in what's called the amphibians, and the amphibians are protected by a magical veil, and the scorpions want to take over the amphibians and claim them as part of their empire. And the only way to get into the amphibians is by destroying the veil that hides it from view. And the Kulupari are the ones that are supposed to be there to protect the veil and protect the amphibians.
Right.
So
Okay, you're speaking to me right there with one having animals as characters. I was a huge, I am a huge fan of Brian Jakes. He's the author of the Redwall series, and he uses animals.
Yes, love those books.
Yeah. The thing about the guy though is his books are like this thick because if you've ever read any of his books, he makes you hungry all the time because when he writes, you'll have a whole chapter about a feast and his detail that he goes into. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
even know
insane.
half the stuff I was reading about what it was, but I wanted to eat it because of
Right.
how good it sounded.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the frogs are in the amphibians and the scorpions roam the deserts. And of course, the scorpions can't do it alone because of the veil. I won't go into too much more detail because that
Yeah.
would probably ruin
They
it.
bring in other. There's
Um,
other animals. There's more races. Yeah.
Right. And it's really cool. Like, I absolutely love the lizards.
They
All right,
There-
well,
there's
you hooked me. You hooked
there's
me.
and you're asking about style. I think stylistically, it's very similar to like your U.S. '80s cartoons, but done with like a very modern detail. So you're not gonna.
Okay.
That is a great
Yeah.
comparison.
Okay.
Yes.
I can get behind that.
And there's a voice. There's one particular voice that's in it. Are you ready for this, Damien?
Okay.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mark Hamill plays a voice. Probably more than one, to be honest. But he's actually listed.
Yeah.
When you're on the show, he's listed as one of the actors that shows up.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I forgot a couple of the others too. I might just look that up. May hit that later. But there was a couple of others when I saw earlier. Like, who is that? And I'm like, oh, I recognize that voice too. There's a few.
I think isn't the guy that does the voice for Marcus Phoenix? Isn't he in it too? I think I heard that.
You talking about John DiMaggio?
Yeah, I think isn't he in it?
In Kulupari, probably.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
'cause
be surprised. Like I've recognized so many voices. Like Mark, I instantly knew Mark Hamill's. No matter he's like an insane voice actor. He's got Joker. It's it took a minute. I'm like, I know that voice, but it doesn't sound like anything that he's done before.
But he's
then I
always
was
create new characters and stuff. So
yeah, he has. He is absolutely wonderful at doing that.
That's epic. Well, see, we did a sidetrack, and you already got me willing to check out a new show.
We're gonna talk about we're gonna do some Kulupari talk next week.
You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. So, Brandon, what's up? You got something to talk about?
I sure do. All right, cowboys and cowgirls, put on your chaps and spurs. We have Westworld talk. The delay we spoke about a couple episodes ago was actually used to set up the whole game plan from start to the finale of the series. Westworld actor and former Cyclops himself, James Met.
Oh, hold on. What did you just say? Finale?
Yeah, that's what it's written in there.
Finale.
Finale.
It's an E.
It says finale.
It's an E. I'm reading it.
Yeah. From start to finale
We're doing it
of the
live.
series, Westworld actor and former Cyclops himself, James Marsden, explained in Entertainment Weekly, it wasn't about getting the first 10 episodes done. It was about mapping out what the next 5 or 6 years are going to be. We wanted everything in line so when the very last episode airs and we have our show final 5 or 7 years down the line, we knew how it was going to end the first season. That's the way Jonah and executive producer J.J. Abrams operate. They make sure all the ducks are in a row, and it's a testament to Jonah and Lisa and HBO that we get them right. Especially the last 3 scripts, they could have rushed them and they could have gotten spread too thin. They got them right, and when they were right, we shot it all. What we know is we have at least a minimum of 5 seasons of content to tell within the story arc, but various other outlets are saying that could in the end be looking like more to 6 to 7 seasons. Either way, getting a multi-season plan of something that is looking to fill the post-Game of Thrones void is always something that we are going to get excited about.
Yeah. So this whole thing about that's the way J.J. Abrams operates, knowing how he finishes shows, for anybody who watched Lost, know that's BS. But he might have learned something from Lost and was like, when I start a show that's going to get people involved and is going to have people digging into the lore, I better know I'm going to finish this
Didn't
thing.
the ending just piss you off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like you went through all that just to end with that shitty episode.
I've never seen Lost.
Killed me.
The
I love
anger,
that show,
the
though.
anger on Mike's face right now is
Yes.
real. His beard
Yes.
is angry. His beard is quivering with like fists. It's got many fists.
It
of
did.
anger.
It pissed me off. Absolutely love Lost. I go on a Lost binge at least once a year.
Same here. My son
I'm
and I
just
both-
watch because they're all on Netflix and have been for the better part of a decade now.
So I've never seen Lost, but the way you're describing the way it ends, I don't know if I want to watch it.
Blasphemy? Are you serious?
You gotta
Just
see.
don't
you gotta
watch
see
the
it,
last
just to have the
season.
experience.
Just don't watch the last season.
You gotta watch the last season.
Well, no, he'll
it's
have to
weird,
because
though.
he'll get there and be like, all right, I got to know how they ended this crap and then go.
Yeah, but it's like, so the first few seasons you're like, oh my god, what is this? This is magical. This is amazing.
They have a plan.
And in the end, you're just like, then at the end you're like, well, I just got.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Basically, the writers, when they interviewed him, like after the fact, they're like, "What were y'all thinking? All this stuff?" I'm like, "Oh, we were like day to day. We were like week to week." They had very
and
little
here's the
planning.
thing,
They were
though.
just like spitting it out.
I was an avid Lost follower from the very beginning. I was what? The show came out in what? 2004,
So
right?
you were 5, 6.
2004? No, I was 14, my brother. I thought I was bad at math. Holy shit. And it ran for 6 seasons, so it ended in 2010. And like I said, I was an avid follower from the very beginning. I watched every single episode every week and tried to decipher like everything I possibly could from that episode that week, so that I could be ready for the next episode the following week. And they actually had an official podcast as well that they released every week after the episode.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So basically, it's looking like if they saying that J.J. Abrams is executive producing, they're mapping it out. He learned something from Lost. That's what it is. And it's like let's make sure we know where we're going with this thing, so we're not like making a bunch of squiggly lines along the way trying to make everything.
But he did do. But he's did a really good job with Star Trek and with Star Wars. I mean, and also, who can you actually legitimately say has done well with Star Trek and Star Wars? Those are two different camps that often are doing this. I like both, but still, that was like, I remember when like he was like, oh, I'm gonna head off from this and go to Star Wars. I was like, and I saw it. I was like, okay, you know what? You brought back practical effects. I love you. Okay, I can deal.
Yeah. As a movie maker, he's fantastic. It's just it looks like originally when you extended him too long, he just kind of he fluttered off into the distance, or left it to some writers. Y'all figure this out. Y'all plan it, and came back a few years later, pick up his paycheck. Like, what did y'all do?
So J.J. Abrams, if you listen to this, we're just curious. Do you have ADHD? It's just people want to know.
Star Trek, Star Wars, jump. But yeah, for Westworld, the trailers, they make it look like a cross between The Truman Show, Total Recall, and Inception to me. And
that is a perfect way to say it up. Now the question is, have you looked up the original movie trailer, like the original movie trailer in the 70s when Westworld was made?
I've not, but I will.
That was, yeah. So
I have actually seen the original Westworld movie.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
It was weird. I don't think I ever actually finished it.
I think that's the vibe they were going from the beginning anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like it. But I mean, it seemed like it was made way before its time, right? I mean, Yul Bull, not Yul Bull. Wow, that's a bad director. I don't know why I came up with him. Not Yul Bull. Yul Brenner. He played the main villain in that, and it was interesting to see him play a robot. I've seen him every Easter, in 10 Commandments. It's like seeing him as a robot. It was quite interesting. But so any more talk on Westworld? We got anything else to say about Westworld?
Yeah, there was a description that got me hooked. It was the description that they described it as was a dark odyssey about the dawn of artificial consciousness and the evolution of sin. I was like, sold. Sold. I want to see that one. Yeah, but one quick on that end of that one. There's one piece of news I found being a fan of the Wheel of Time book series, and what I was really hoping to fill my Game of Thrones void was a Wheel of Time show, but they have finally broken the legal loophole that the Robert Jordan's family has, and a TV studio will be producing, an unnamed studio will be producing Wheel of Time as a TV series sometime in the future.
Oh, nice.
So excited about that one.
That'll be something Starz picks up to combat this.
Yeah.
Which was funny because they're all the same company.
Yeah. That's going to be like 13 seasons. So much material to go through.
They're gonna beat a dead horse.
Oh yeah,
beating a dead horse has been a theme for like the past 3 weeks in a row now.
So now we're gonna go roll into some game talk, but before we get into the first, we're gonna talk mainly about 2 different games. But before that, I was listening this last week, as I sometimes do, going back and listening to some podcasts. I was listening to an episode of Pirate Port Radio, and and you had a listener that wrote in during one of your games And even though his was a little more violent version of it, taking his peg leg off and punching a shark, I do believe you have a listener that was talking about drunken shark punching league. I'm just saying. I was listening and I heard it. I heard you read it off, and I was like, he had a listener write in about punching sharks in the nose. Yet he gives me crap every single time I say I'm going to make that into a league.
Hey, I give you crap, but then I steal it from you. Isn't that how it works, brother? Now I don't know if Justin and Cajun are familiar with Pirate Pool Radio. Do you guys have any idea what the hell he's talking about?
I've heard it discussed in this podcast, but I'm still way behind on all my podcast listening.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got 13 episodes to catch up on. You got a year of content to catch up on, brother. To explain Pirate Pool Radio very briefly for you guys that don't know, Pirate Pool Radio is a podcast specifically centered around Sea of Thieves, which is an incredibly awesome game that I would hope you guys are familiar with in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Just a little.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. And weren't you in like that dev video?
Yeah. I was in the gameplay video.
That's Beard.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I'm still in shock about that. I'm still convinced that never happened. That I'm still asleep in bed.
That you weren't on the screen at E3.
Yeah, like that it didn't happen. Like I mean, it was one of the things where we knew they were recording, but we never thought in a million years that that's what they would end up returning. Not returning, turning the recorded footage into. It was just mind blowing. It's just like, oh my god, really?
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna set our hooks into these guys. You can never play another game now. You're on the big screen at E3. You're done.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's like it was interesting. Like at PAX, I'm walking around and it's like I'll introduce myself, and it's like eventually I just quit saying my name because it got too confusing. So I was just like, hey, I go, I'm Damian Nash with Geekologist Radio, and I did talk, and then it would just naturally come up about Sea of Thieves, and then I'd be like, hey, did you happen to see that E3 demo? They're like, oh yeah, they'll talk about the stuff. It is usually they talk about that. Hey, shut up, I'm looking at the water. That was one thing that would come
Chad
up.
and Heil, yeah, those guys are great.
So that would come up, and then it'd be like, yeah, there's that one guy though. It's just like all over the place on there. It's like, yeah, you're leaving me behind, or hey, what do we do?
What do we do? As
and
the
that
ship's
would come
going
up.
Down.
Yeah, that would come up, and I'd be like, yeah. So and then just nonchalantly be like, yeah, that guy's on it. That guy's one of our hosts, and they're like, wait, what? What did you just say? I'm like, yeah. I talk to that guy every week. I talk to him, every week we're talking. He's like. This was even like this is like Dark Horse guys, These are guys that like work on Game Art magazine and stuff like that. They're like wait, what? You got this guy on there? I want to talk to him. It was just like, it was just cool,
Hey, that's a good line to pull folks in, isn't it?
It is. It's like it's just like you're talking with people and stuff like that. There's like you talk with that guy. Is he as funny in person as he is on that? I'm like, well, I haven't met him in person. I've talked to him kind of the same way. It's like we're on a camera. So he's animated. His beard's bigger.
His beard's bigger, yeah. Right. By what? Almost 4 months now. Because that was recorded back in May.
Yeah.
So, 4 months, man. Holy crap.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I was there.
Dude, before long we're gonna be playing the game, and you're just be like, "Hey guys, remember that time I couldn't talk to you about this thing? Yeah, I knew about this the entire time, you bastards." Ha ha ha.
No comment.
We'll all be like, "Hey, where's Mike?" He'll be off somewhere hidden and just like be laughing, and all of a sudden you're gonna get popped up and shot out from the middle of nowhere, like in some little hole in the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna snipe you from an island with my blunderbuss from like 3 miles away in in-game travel distance.
Max range sniping.
All right.
With a blunderbuss of all things.
Yeah. It'll be some bone magic he pulled off or something. All right. So first off, what we're gonna talk about tonight: Destiny, Rise of Iron predictions. after the final ad scene have been shown. It's our time to once again put on our tinfoil hats and see if we can predict some of the new content to drop this Tuesday, September 20th. All right, guys. I know majority of us here are fans of Destiny. Justin, we're gonna make you one. I'm just saying that right now. It's called
Peer pressure?
Relentless pressure. No, it's called gentle pressure, relentlessly applied. Eventually you break.
Well, truthfully, I've been thoroughly interested since before it came out. I just haven't had the time to devote to it. Because, I've been a fan of Halo for many, many years since the first one came out. And so, we're coming out with this whole new thing. I'm like, oh my God. But it just hasn't come to fruition yet, so...
See, you realize that you're family friends with, the boss of Rage, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you're not playing this game. This does not compute.
So,
That's
Justin,
all I'm
do
saying.
you want me to tell your
steal my
mom
line.
or your dad that you want an Xbox One?
Christmas is
you
could be a Christmas noob.
You need to say it's a
You
requirement.
can be a Christmas noob. We'll carry you to max light level. After that, it's all up to you.
2 days.
You got to get me to max light level first. You guys know how long it's been since I played Destiny.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, right now there is a in-game alternate reality game going on.
Today.
Like right now. So by the time you're listening to this, it's going to be Monday, but we're recording on Thursday. Today, they did a short maintenance break and added in this new virus. And what this virus does is you can get contaminated by going to the Crucible or doing other items and stuff inside Destiny. But this virus...
Doing other items?
Doing other items. Hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So what this does for you, this virus...
In a world where the items screw you back.
You get tech viruses.
But this virus gives you a XP boost. That's the equivalent...
It's a good virus.
It's a very
That's
good
something you don't
virus.
hear.
So
It's called good herpes.
It works with experience. It works with your factions. It works with everything. So you need to get in and get it now.
Yeah.
And get leveled
It's kind of
up.
like the
So
Nightfall
you're saying
boost.
that this is a
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Nightfall
I was
boost.
gonna say,
But
so this is a virus. So this is a virus that you get infected with, and you don't, if later on you don't have to put your head down and tell your wife, "Hey, wife, I got something to give you."
No.
an XP boost, babe.
Well, I don't know. My wife plays Destiny, so I may want to go ahead and just infect her too. So we'll see.
How do I get it? I'm gonna use my super in the Crucible, and then you kill me in this amount of time, and then you get my virus, and you get an XP boost. I know it's sexy.
Okay.
It's
okay.
gonna happen.
This episode's over now. This episode is just
All right,
over
we
now.
have hit the point where Mike is calling the end of the episode. Tough shit.
So there's a lot of stuff's dropped today. So in the patch this morning, they also dropped a slew of weapon perks that were just came out of nowhere, and there are some interesting ones, some that kind of series. There's one I wrote I think about 3 of them down that I found interesting. One is Dubious Ordnance. It's a high energy volley of explosive ordnance, and it goes with rocket launchers. So I'm guessing it's similar to cluster bombs, but may not be the same as tracking. But it definitely goes on a rocket launcher because that's the thing, a high energy volley of explosive ordnance.
No. That's the new Siva Scout Rifle. If you look in one of the videos...
Wait. What?
The Siva Scout Rifle.
But the graphic on the actual Dubious Ordnance perk is a rocket launcher, though.
Okay, because
They have other perks in that tree that I think would fit the Siva one, but this one looks like it's a rocket launcher. And again, I could be completely wrong, you could be right, but I just saw that the graphic and it the rocket is ish.
Because there's the one scout rifle that gives you you shoot somebody in the head and it shoots off wolfpack rounds just like the Galahorn did, but it's Siva red.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm like,
It's Yala. It's Yala. Yala.
Galahorn.
Come on, man. You like Thorn. Or Thorn. Wow. See, you got me.
Beep.
You like Thor, right? I mean, come on. You can't. If do you know what Yellowhorn is? Like what the actual Yellowhorn is?
Badass rocket launcher.
Oh, it's a big.
The actual Yellowhorn.
It's a big horn that they on top of on the cliffside, right?
Well, I don't particularly know where it is, but it's part of Norse mythology. It's
Yeah,
what,
it's a big war. It's a big war horn.
Yeah, and it was supposed to signal Ragnarok
Yeah.
in Norse mythology. And Heimdall, or what? He has a nickname in the Thor movies. I can't remember what it is now. That's bad. You just kill me with that. Yellowhorn. I'm gonna correct you.
Yellowhorn. I'm sorry.
If you
I
ever
used to
pronounce
say,
it Gallahorn, I'm gonna correct you and say Yellowhorn.
Gallahorn.
Good Jaller
Yeah,
horn.
you guys can.
The jelly horn.
Okay, I was going back to a couple of the perks. One is focused firefly. So when focus fire is active, you gain firefly. So that's like your auto rifle will shoot slower, hit harder, and you gain firefly. So there's one in your element, and it increases your speed for carrying scorch, null, or shock cannons. All we've seen before, scorch cannons. So what this means is there's going to be a void and a shock and a arc cannon similar to the scorch cannon that we got in House of Wolves. That's what this means to me. And then there was 3 perks I saw called negative, incendiary, and chasm rounds. They're all 3 different types of rounds. I think that's middle tree perks on guns, and they all grant faster fire and accuracy, but also they're negative, incendiary, and chasm. So I think that they may have something to do with elemental damage on maybe exotics or something like that as a middle tree perk. And that's just pure speculation. And there was one that, as a blinker, I love this one. It's called Move to Survive. And it's temporarily increases recovery on blink. So if you get hit in Crucible and your life's low and you blink out of there, your recovery gets increased because you did a blink action. So that's something that I would get a lot of use out of. So that's the ones that really caught my eye in terms of the perks that were data mined today.
So one thing that I was going to talk about is that there's been sites that they and I actually had seen it too on my Destiny app before they seemingly patched it. But if you go through your weapons on there that you could look, there was something on there that said submachine gun. Mm-hmm. Now, if you know your Destiny lore or just the history behind the programming, they originally started out, their characters were supposed to have little perks. Like Titan's perk was they were supposed to be good with shotguns and LMGs. They were supposed to have a little bit of a bonus to those. Warlocks were supposed to get a bonus for using SMGs. SMGs never got put in the game, but they were supposed to be good with SMG combat style. Well, there's a couple exotic guns that have been shown that look just like an MP5 basically. They look like a submachine gun. And then the fact that there was that glitch or whatever it was that they said, and you can look up screenshots of it that say submachine gun, and they said there's a new weapon class being admitted or being said. Do you guys think we're going to finally get submachine guns in Destiny?
I freaking hope so. That if nothing else pulls me back into Destiny, it'll be SMGs.
But I would think, like, how would that fit in the meta though of the guns? Because right now the auto rifles have enough of a variety of rates of fire that I'm kind of curious where would SMGs fit in that meta between autos and fast firing pulses that could be full auto. That's only my question on how they make them fit.
I mean, like, I almost feel like they would have to put them into like something to where because they're more for like the short to mid range. If you put it into like the not the multi tool, but the universal remote, if you had something where it's it's like a shotgun. I mean, but it's because they're fast firing, they take your health down pretty quick. But if it's similar to something like the universal remote, but in like the something along that range, kind of, maybe.
I almost think that you'd have to redo the way the auto rifles are. Like you'd have the faster fire ones would be an auto rifle, but the slower firing ones would not be an auto rifle anymore. They'd be considered an SMG.
SMG, and they changed categories, and like the
Right.
slower fire ones would have further range, the fast fire ones would be close. Yeah, they'd have to just completely retool that.
That was one thing I was curious about. Another thing is how many? I mean, did we wind up seeing? Is it all the Iron Lords we've now seen sealing them away with Siva? And I mean, it looks like we're seeing all the original Iron Lords are closing themselves
At least
off.
the ones that were alive when they sealed themselves in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, with that, I mean, how many of you guys think that we're going to wind up? I mean, I tweeted out to Bungie basically blatantly saying, you better have these guys in there. What do you think about maybe that we're going to have either like a mini boss or maybe a full-on raid boss fight against a Siva infected Guardian or Iron Lord?
Very possible. Yeah. I think
It's not completely out of the
I think
question.
with them showing them sealing themselves in, you see Yolder go in there. She closes the door. It's just like that's there in the trailer for a reason. Just to leave that little tweet, that little carrot out there saying they're going to be in here in one way, shape, or form. They're either going to be prisoners in there, or they're going to be infected, and they're going to have to fight. We have to fight them of some sort, or cure them of some sort.
So as far as lore goes, how long has it been since the doors have been sealed?
Well, got two pot.
That's something to go ask the
Yeah,
DGS.
we got two lore podcasts in the clan. We can ask any of those guys. Yeah, no, I definitely don't know the timeline on there.
I don't know. Do you really feel like a virus infected Guardian would be a sufficient raid boss?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they could be like you have like little side bosses like in Crota, you have the Death Singer and all of those. Maybe particular Guardians, they could all get infected because they trapped themselves into the room, and you have to fight each one throughout the raid in order to get to the actual raid boss. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a Fallen centric DLC again, correct?
Yeah.
Right. It's a new race, but it's fallen centric race. So it's going to be similar to how like the Taken were Hive centric, but a different race. So it's like they have different abilities, different damages, and things like that. It's just like they use
They're like mutated Fallen.
So they didn't have to like go back into the base and like redo all the some of the character models. They use the same models and were able to just kind of reskin them and give them different
add body parts
the Borg.
Yeah,
They're the Borg of the Fallen.
That's a good definition. The Borg of the Fallen, yeah. But I think maybe more than one Guardian. If they make all 9, or like 9 of them come out at one time, and you have to fight 9 Guardians, all with their weapons that you've seen in Iron Band all the time, I think that could be something really interesting.
That would be kind of bananas. But one of the other things is like, I know Brandon, you played Guild Wars, right?
Yes.
So in Guild Wars, once you hit level 20, you're going through the story mission. Now, there's a whole nother thing that opens up after you do this. You have to do what's called ascending. When you ascend, you go in, and this actually kind of sucks because like you've been fighting, you got this great gear, you're all happy. You go up this, you go to this tower, and this light pillar comes down. It takes you up inside of it. Well, now that all that weapon, all that power you got, you're fighting it because you fight a shadow version of your character. So whatever build you have, you're fighting a shadow version of that. That was one humanoid character that you fight as a final boss, and it was difficult as all hell. So with that, I think that depending on how they do it, I mean, I could see I'm picturing Jolder. I'm picturing her as being like the Borg queen, you know. She could be wired up or connected into Siva, and then she's sending the forces out, but ultimately she's the final boss or something like that, you know.
And
like That's kind of
And Effort Eat Spear is one-shotting you because like hers still has final round, and because hers didn't get the final round nerf.
God, that would because it was locked in the chamber, you know.
Yeah, but hers still has final round. She's firing off a couple. She's firing off a couple of bullets to get the final round, so she can one-shot you in the body.
Oh God. That would be a way for Bungie to troll. Just it's like, oh yeah, sorry, we'll patch this next week. Raid week 1, you're gonna just get one shotted.
Random one-shot body shots from Effort Eat. Yeah. But I don't know if anybody caught the MLG event in Columbus this week. But they had some of the top PvPers playing the Supremacy game mode, and man, you want to talk about they had some of the best snipers in the game putting down their sniper and going shotgun. That is a close quarters game mode, kill confirmed or Supremacy. Man, snipers, well, they muted their effectiveness with the nerf recently, but man, talk about that game mode nerfed even more.
I'm looking forward to that game mode. That's actually in the Call of Duty games, and even going back to Halo with the Headhunter. That was like my mode. I love it. I love how sweaty it gets.
Oh, yeah.
I think if we don't have anything else to talk about with the Destiny Rise of Iron, keep thinking Wrath, but
that's the raid.
We're going to. That's right. That's why I'm thinking that. We're going to go into something else that I know is going to take up some time to talk about. So let's go in to talk about Recore. Ow! I was waiting for that. That's like Mike's his thing. You listen to Pirate Port Radio, you hear that. Ow! I can't do it. I just sound like a. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is. But and it would be a lot louder if my daughter wasn't sleeping around the corner.
So, Recore, guys, let's talk about Microsoft finally getting a game that has the nostalgia factor and just the complete feeling of an epic Nintendo title. How you guys feel about Recore?
It's amazing.
I'm in love.
I love it.
So what we have here is we have something that's interesting. So like my wife, she picked it up for me for my birthday, and so I actually got it on disc.
You're welcome.
Thank you, by the way. Yes. So my wife, on my 35th birthday, decides to text Brandon up here, one of our hosts, and ask, "What do I get my husband?" So I'm sitting here. I have a monitor ready to hook up so I can actually do this a little more professionally, and actually start going back to streaming. I have a monitor, and I got a jacket, and then I got the game Recore, and that game is amazing. But the way I feel about it is it's like they took like Metroid and mixed it with an interjection of Legend of Zelda. I mean, and that's what it feels like to me. But the platforming is real. I'll tell you what.
And Armature Studios, the company that developed it, is actually comprised of former Metroid Prime. I'm honestly at a loss for what the studio is called that made Metroid.
I know,
which is
but
really
yeah.
bad. But their core team consists of the original art director for Metroid, as well as their principal engineer, I believe it was. So they've got an awesome core team, and I really believe they did an amazing job.
An awesome Recore
Keyword
team.
there's core.
There you go.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
So Brandon, I know that you actually took advantage with it being a digital copy that you purchased. What did you do with that?
So when you buy it digitally, this is Xbox's first Play Anywhere title. So if you buy it digitally through the Xbox store, you could play it on your computer. So I installed it on my computer, and I've been playing it on my computer ever since because honestly, the load times are better. And it just feels a lot better. But
yeah, and those load
having
times
Windows
are killer.
Not on PC.
Yeah, on Xbox they are killer. I love the game, but oh my god, I sit at load screens for like 5 minutes.
See, and I have a disc, and I have it so it installs with the disc, but still used to off the disc. I have not had a load time wait at all.
That's weird.
So that's been I know it is, but I haven't had it. It's been interesting.
That's weird. Yeah, I have mine on disc as well, and like I said, I'll sit there for 5 minutes, man.
Do you have yours
I was
on
experiencing
external
the
hard
same
drive
thing.
or?
You see, I have mine on an external hard drive for my Xbox, and I was still getting really long load times like that. So I know exactly what Mike's going through. But for the PC, I just download it straight from the Microsoft Store onto my PC, plug my Elite controller right into the computer, and boom, there it is.
Well,
Just
I mean,
instantly.
I have it, it's actually on my Xbox hard drive. I don't have an external hard drive. I haven't had the need for one yet.
Are either of you on the preview program?
I am.
Unfortunately,
Okay,
no.
that could be part of it too, because with or without the preview program, because I'm preview program for me is making so much stuff run slower, but you're not, so it doesn't make much sense though.
Yeah, so like one of the things I love about this game is just it's the compatibility or the customizability of your robot companions. Like I'm huge about doing stuff like that. Just the fact that it gives you different head options, and you can go into stuff and you can min max your companion, and the controls are so simple that it's like I've been trying to get my wife back into gaming. It's like I actually met her in a quasi 3D chat kind of gaming world, and so it's like but I was on computer, and I've been trying to get her into console gaming, and I think that Record is going to be the first time I'll be able to actually get her to sit down and play something, and be able to have the controller simple enough that she'll be able to get how to do things, but then also the gameplay is engaging enough that it'll keep her attention, and there's the puzzle aspects.
Right, and while the story is a pretty damn good story, I felt like it had some pretty, I don't want to say major, so I guess I'll stick with minor because they weren't really quite as noticeable. Yeah, I mean, for the open world of this game, the storyline just didn't seem. It felt like they didn't really take a lot of time on it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say Brandon's probably gotten through at least the storyline by now. It's probably into exploration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I right? What about you,
So
Damien?
I got to the final boss in 8 hours.
Yeah.
See, I'm actually still in the first pack because I made the mistake of showing the game to my kids, and my kids have taken over my copy of the game. It's like, oh yeah, we got this for you, Dad, and now we're playing it. And but the thing is like, because I just set up an Xbox One in my daughter's room, so I love the fact that it's a female character that's that my daughter can look up to. It's not she's not playing some bimbo running around. She's actually playing a character that is a heroine. She's able to look after and take care of herself. It's good. It's good for a little girl to play and be able to have
Good
a character
role
like
model.
that to look. Exactly, and it's I mean, granted they have changed Laura Croft over the years to where, but still this character is more up the ballpark for me to let my daughter play and be able to have her enjoy it. But it's just like literally every time I play it, when I pick up the controller, I'm like, I don't want to put it down, which is a bad thing because I have been going without sleep a lot lately.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the board, and I think Brandon will probably agree with me when I say this. That ending clearly sets up a Record 2. Like there is absolutely no doubt there is going to be
I
a
honestly
Record 2
think
with
that
ending.
Recore, the game, is a setup to see how it would sell, how it would do for a future game.
Like,
That's why it was listed as a smaller title, why it was only listed as 40 rather than the normal 60. That's what I think.
Or do you think we'll see like a $20 or $30 expansion quasi download or something like that here in the future?
I wouldn't put it past them.
Okay.
Yeah,
To
that
open
seems
up more,
that seems pretty legit.
more areas of Far Eden. See, and like, even though I'm done with it and I'm going on to exploration and everything, I'm still finding new dungeons. I don't think that I have found them all yet.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff to grab in all the dungeons. It's ridiculous. Like,
Yep.
I found myself going through the same dungeon like 3 or 4 times because I've
Just
missed
to find
things that
one
I
thing.
never picked up the first time or never even saw.
And then it's like, isn't it like? So I only still have Mac. So when you have the other bots, that changes your ability to explore these dungeons too. So if you go back to a dungeon with a different bot,
dramatically.
yeah,
Oh,
you're going to be able to do a
absolutely.
lot more.
Dramatically, yeah. Even some of the story missions, like I believe in one of the story missions, there's a spot where you need Duncan, but you don't need him to continue on through the main part of the story mission. But if you go back to the story mission with Duncan, you'll be able to activate using his ability and go into a side part of the actual mission and get other treasures and other rewards.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about it is once you get to a certain point, you can actually, let's say, take Mac's core and stick it in Duncan, and you can have a Mac that has Duncan's abilities.
That's what she said.
Hey. But it's really cool because you'll have a Duncan who's supposed to be an ape-like core bot as the dog doing the big smashing move that Duncan does.
You know what that does is that plays back. So you remember when we saw the first preview for it, the cinematic preview, they do just that. She takes the core out of Mac and puts it in Duncan's body,
Right.
and
right.
so that's cool. So that's what it is. Like Brandon, when you first told me about that, I was trying to think. I know I've seen this before, but then Mike, when you said that, now I know where
It's
I saw
weird
it.
though because that's not the way it happens. Like you can't
Right.
you can't do that when you find Duncan immediately, and you don't find Duncan in the state that he's in.
Right.
In that original trailer where she takes the core out of Mac, he's not in that state. He's actually a live.
But don't spoil it for him.
Well, one of the things with that also though is when these companies put these trailers together, it's just like when we get movie trailers and we see stuff, Suicide Squad, and they don't appear in the movie. It's
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. It's like they are in the part of filming. They're like, oh, we got this, and this. Let's throw it together and make a trailer. Well, these game companies, they'll make a CG trailer. I mean, it happened. Aliens, Colonial Marines. Game trailer was amazing. What they delivered, nothing that was on the trailer happened. I still enjoyed it because I'm a huge Aliens fan, and I played it with my brother. But had I not had that experience, it would have been just done. Brandon.
3 words. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I'm just gonna scratch through my note of mentioning that. Since you brought that up, I was like, "This is No Man's Sky, right?" And except without the HD. Yeah. Yeah, that was
So
a million promises not kept right there.
yeah, I was really excited about that game, and then the hopes to see it come to Xbox. And now I know that because of how what they had going on, they're killing themselves right now. That they did not say we're not going to be an exclusive. We're going to go both places, and then get a bunch more money and not deliver on. So I'm actually like I'm like okay. I'm glad that they didn't come over now because the PlayStation beta tested it.
Scared everybody away.
Now if it comes over, they know that they have to deliver a much fuller product in order to get Xbox users to buy in.
Right. So, Brandon, having beaten the game and moved into exploration, are you satisfied with the game overall?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm not even done with all the exploration yet, and so I've still got Lord knows how many hours just running around.
Yeah,
collecting
they
different
say
things.
there's at least 10 to 15 hours of exploration alone. not
I don't
counting
even
the
have
storyline.
one of them. I can't even unlock one of the dungeons because I'm not level 25 yet.
Yeah.
And that's going to take you a while to get that level 25, considering the fact that what comes out on Tuesday?
I'm already level 23.
Okay, well, never mind. You're not human, so it's okay.
When I commit, I commit.
No, we just know that you're Schwarzenegger. You're Terminator.
All right. Well, what about you, Damien? Yeah, I know you haven't beaten the storyline, but
Oh,
what are
dude,
your...
so it's definitely worth it. I mean, we had a cast member that is not here to talk right now, but He's probably quite a few bourbons and beers in, maybe a few Chicago dogs, not Chicago. Oh,
Boston, buddy.
Boston dogs.
oh, damn, Boston dogs.
Boston.
He was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna wait a couple months to pick up this game." Between our friends over at Mulehorn Gaming and us talking about it, by the time he was off, even before he was off work, he was showing us that he had purchased and was remote downloading it.
Yeah, so he used his phone from work, logged into the Microsoft store, and purchased it. So that way we just automatically start downloading to his Xbox.
So
Like, I'm not getting this game till Friday. I'm gonna let all the hype die down. Or I'm gonna wait till it's half price.
Yeah, he said he was gonna wait till November to get it. He goes, well, it'll be on sale in November, and yeah, he said he didn't regret buying it.
no, it's the nostalgia factor alone is worth it. Like when I pick up the controller and I start playing it, I'm just like, I could zoom around in this all day long. Like I used to play Mario 64 and go to that damn water level and with the giant fish monster dragon underwater thing and just listen to the music and then play. What did I do? I would try to punch the thing and run away. It didn't work because you die, but that was the start of drunken. It's just, I always want to punch something underwater. It doesn't work in Ark. I die. Megalodon fishing is not something that you want to do. But so yeah, no, definitely worth it. I love the title. It kind of is. I'm glad that my wife got me a disc because it's weird. I'm nostalgic like that, where like that disc will now be like a prized possession of mine.
So after hearing us rant about it, Justin, Derek, do you guys think that you'll pick it up?
Whenever I get free time after next Tuesday to play another game, then yes.
I don't think there's going to be any free time after next Tuesday for many of us Destiny
Yeah,
players.
Friday raid.
Not till get a hard mode completion.
Hard mode's not even out on Friday.
No,
is it?
but that's
it's
what the
week after.
grind's
Yeah, I was
for.
gonna
The grind's to get all
Yeah,
the gear
yeah.
geared up and the skills up and normal to get a hard mode completion. Yep.
Well, here's something to make you guys a little jealous. So I'm off from the 19th till the 27th.
The 19th, woo woo.
Nice.
You guys know what the 19th is, don't you? At least
So
you
what about-
better know the 19th.
Oh!
If you listen
Yes,
to that
I do,
episode of
I do,
Pirate
yes,
Port Radio,
yes,
you
I
better
do.
fucking
I
know.
do. Pirate Day. Yes. Talk like yes.
So Justin, what do you think? Do you think you'll pick it up? Justin.
What?
We got another sleeper.
I
here.
wasn't asleep. I was
What do you
distracted.
think? Do you think you'll pick up the game, Recore?
There's a few others that's in queue before that.
Recore needs to be moved to the front.
Definitely.
Definitely. After hearing you guys talk about it, it's definitely moving up in mine. But yeah, that's definitely in the. It'll probably be right around discount time for it when I get my hard mode set up.
I get a really, I guess it being a platformer, this makes sense. I get a real Banjo-Kazooie nostalgia from it. Like you've got the desert of Far Eden as the central hub world, and there's quote jiggies throughout that hub world that you have to find, but then there's also the dungeons that are kind of like the small outer worlds where you can grab more cores that will help you get into the larger dungeons, which is what you had to do in Banjo-Kazooie, was grab the notes to be able to progress through the different doors to open the different worlds.
And isn't I mean, speaking of Banjo-Kazooie and Rare, isn't Recore what Rare has been saying they're playing right now? I think they tweeted
Rare
it
is
out,
actually
yeah.
giving a copy
Yeah,
of it away.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I think a lot of the studios are pretty hyped for Recore.
It is.
I mean, I guess it's pretty much, I don't want to say it's a requirement, but it is a requirement. You got to support your buddies that all work for Microsoft, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
I think getting just a little bit out of the game talk and jumping into this week's tech/geek history. Brandon?
All right, so on September 14th, 1959, the Soviet space probe Luna 2 crashes onto the surface of the moon. It became the very first man-made object to reach the moon, as well as the first man-made object to reach any celestial body.
Ain't that some shit? And here we are about to go to frickin' Mars.
Hey, didn't they make a movie about that? Are we sure we want to go? We got to, survive, like, what is it, a
Just
year or more?
send Matt Damon. He's a botanist or whatever. He'll do it. A smart-ass botanist. He'll survive.
Matt Damon.
It'll buff out.
You gotta
He'll
say
spend
that,
the
bro,
next
right?
year
Come
living
on.
on potatoes and Vicodin.
Yummy.
Hey, that actually doesn't sound
How about
bad.
them apples?
Matt Damon.
Okay, so next on our list, September 12th, 1958, researcher Jack Kilby demonstrates the first integrated circuit to other researchers and executives at Texas Instruments. And the
Nice.
next one. Go ahead, Damien.
I was going to make a comment on the September 12th thing. That's a good day. But
Integrated circuit.
Some
Nah.
jackass
September
was born
12th.
that day.
Yeah.
hey, that's my birthday, so
Oh, that's what I was about to ask. What's so significant about that?
it's the day I came into this world.
It's the day you were born. It's nothing special. Next.
So September 11th, 1985, the International Cometary Explorer passes through the gas tail of comet. I have picked
Giacobini.
Yeah, P.
Giacobini Zener, the first ever man-made object to pass through the tail of a comet. I have no idea what that word is. But
Giacobini Zinner.
Two
Okay.
scientists, one Italian, the other Zinner.
That's what she said.
And P.
And P. Yeah.
so
That sounds like a bad movie. Anyways.
Mike, you read the next one. In a world.
What do we
do? What do we do?
On September 13th, 1985, the original Super Mario Brothers was released, and it's been 31 years.
That is
I was
31.
4 years old.
I don't know how many hours I have in that game.
I wasn't even born
We're not
yet.
even a thought yet.
No, it was
Yeah, right?
You know, you're young enough that your dad may not even be born yet.
Wait,
That's that. There,
Just go with
there's
it,
that.
Mike.
There's that
Just
Twitch
go with
math
it.
again. Yeah. That was actually that was. I own a Wii U now because my wife, while pregnant, wanted to play Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, "Oh, I can get that and do like the reverse compatibility thing." And I can play Zelda too. So that's our gaming system / streaming device in our bedroom because she wanted it while I was pregnant. Like, ooh, I can play some Zelda.
Speaking of playing Zelda, whatever happened to that emulator that was supposed to, like, I want to say I remember reading an article recently that got greenlighted on the Xbox One, so
It
you
did.
could go back and play your old Nintendo games like Mario. Like, you could literally play almost any Nintendo game you can think of.
yeah. So there's an emulator. As of right now, we haven't known if it's been greenlighted, but we don't know if they're gonna pull it yet. It's for Xbox One that will allow you to take anything on a USB stick, plug it into your Xbox that's got the game code on it, and play Nintendo and like Super Nintendo games on
what I'm gonna be
your
playing?
Xbox One.
You know what I'm going to be playing?
Donkey Kong Country.
Diddy Kong Racing. You were close.
Diddy Kong Racing. I have that sitting right behind me.
I have that
so-
on my computer.
Oh,
and,
so I have it on,
I use a
I have it on
360
64.
controller to
So
play it.
oh, that's cool. All right. So
I take
that-
you love Diddy Kong Racing, Brandon?
I love Diddy Kong Racing.
I don't know if I've ever played Diddy Kong
Really?
Racing.
Everybody's
You
played Diddy
Played
Kong Racing.
Donkey Kong Country. No,
Okay,
not me.
okay. Who here likes? Let's see. Oh, and I just totally screwed that up.
Correct.
What are those dang things you beat? Pinatas.
Glad you clarified.
Viva Pinata. Like,
What you do behind your own closed door with the camera off is whatever you're gonna be. Okay, Damien.
He beats his pinata when no one's looking.
Whoa.
so Viva Pinata. How many of you guys have played Viva Pinata or like Viva Pinata Party Animals? That's like the party game. It's like it's rare, but it's got like Mario Kart aspects in it, and then you go and you do other.
No,
Oh, you
no,
guys all-
sir.
Party Animals.
Never
that was
interested.
that was a Game Boy Advance title, wasn't it?
No. That was Xbox 360.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were only 2 games released on 360.
No, Viva. There's three.
And
You
call
say
it
you're a
yourself.
rare fan.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. I'm not
You have
ashamed
Rare
to admit
Replay,
it.
right? You have it if you have Rare Replay.
Yeah, I have Rare Replay, but
There's 2
Party
Viva
Animals
Pinatas.
is not in there. It's just
not?
the original and Trouble in Paradise, which is the second one.
Okay, well then you need to go and get Party Animals.
Okay.
It's fun, and it should be. Well, make sure it's backwards compatible first.
I don't think it is.
I'll try it out. I'll figure it out. All right. So with that, we're gonna bring this thing back in. We're gonna reel it in and get to a closing. So, Brandon.
Just remember, this is the 3rd week of our giveaway for 500 followers, and the magic word this week is going to be force.
Mike's face is priceless at the moment.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Use the force.
I've had that
Luke.
face too in the past,
I'm
but
just
it was
tired,
something
man. It's
completely.
freaking 2 o'clock.
Feel the force.
I've had that face too, but it was because of something else. I cough like that too, but all right.
Anyways.
So Brandon, where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at BE_FOUTZ, or you can email us at geekologistradio@gmail.com, or you can leave us a note on our website, thanks to Mr. Justin, at geekologistradio.com.
And Mike, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, as well as pretty much every other social media platform,
Follow
as
his Instagram.
Abstracticus. That's Abstract ACAS. I also do a podcast specifically centered around Sea of Thieves called Pirate Pool Radio. You can find us on Twitter at Pirate Pool Radio. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. And we're doing a giveaway right now. Go do it. Go check our pinned tweet on Twitter.
Will do. And Justin, our web guy. Hey man, what's up? Where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can send me an email, and that's about it.
Oh,
He's not with the times.
he's our man of mystery.
We need to get him on
Never
Twitter.
jumped onto the Twitter
Yes.
sphere. Purposely.
Oh,
You
okay.
need
Just
to
like
Twitter.
you'll be coming to Twitter, and not to be mistaken with something else that's said in Discord at times. And then, but yeah, we'll get you on Twitter. So, what's that email that we can get you if people want to maybe ask you questions about web design and stuff?
My email address is justjw105@gmail.com.
Nice. So, if you got questions about web design and all that stuff, and want to like the way that our blog set up for our website is, he's the man to talk to about that. And then also we have our guy is gonna be our swing host.
Pinch hitter, not swinger host.
Pitch
Swing
hitter,
host?
yes. Sorry, swing host. It's I said it the first time, so it's just gonna stick with me on that. So.
Yeah, and I'll
so
try to
Derek-
shove in pinch hitter every time.
So- all right, Derek, where can we find you?
Oh, on Twitter, you can find me at ESP Instigator. That's ESPINSTIGATOR. And I rarely tweet, so you won't see me there much.
And then on Twitch, you can find me at Caucasian_Saint. That's CAU, Cajun_Saint. And I rarely stream, so you won't see me there much either. But if you really want to find me, you can go to Uprising Family Gaming, uprisingfamilygaming.com. If you wanted to join our Xbox One clan, submit an application. And I'm in Slack all the dang time, and y'all can admit that. You can find me there all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
All right. So, from all the guys over here at Geekologist Radio,
Wait,
Wait,
where
wait,
can we find you?
whoa.
Where can we find you?
Oh, damn. I was trying to cut my head off. So, you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Damian Nash, all one word. Also, I'm going to be kicking back into Project Finward Gaming. Going to be streaming on there once I get my new monitor all set up. So, thank you, Brendan. And, and thank you, wife. I heard a cough. I was like, uh-oh. So anyway, but yeah, so you can find me on Project Finward Gaming. That's on Twitch, and it'll be Finward Gaming over on Beam. And so
before we go, I would like to remind everyone that today's episode was brought to you by swingdaters.net.
I wouldn't
Anyways.
go there if I were you.
Yes, please don't. Please don't. You will probably download numerous viruses on your computer.
So anything that Mr. Mike Abstracticus says, just ignore the ever-living
Yeah,
crap.
he's trying to get you divorced.
Everything I've said in this podcast, you should just ignore.
Everything he said will get you divorced.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not divorced.
If I go to Swing Gators, not whatever.
We're divorced.
Okay. So for that, I'm Damian Nash from Geekologist Radio, and on behalf of the rest of the crew, see you later.